Okay, guys, you're welcome to this case study. My name is Mayo Wolabi, and I took this trade and I decided to do a breakdown, top-down analysis, why I picked this trade and why I'm still holding forth on this trade. Okay, so if you go from the higher time frame, I do tell you one of the ways to become successful in trading is to um, approach it as a trader, then you do what? You handle it as an investor. Okay? If you have not watched my training on are you a trader or an investor, um, you can join the Maya Wolabi University so that you can have access to it. So basically, this is what we have. Number one thing we need to understand here is that the market has been on a downward trend, confirmed. Okay, confirmed. And whenever the market is in a downward trend, the next thing you want to do, look at it, is to wait for the retracement. Okay? So you need to see the retracement. So this is what we are expecting. We're expecting this guy to fall from 70.50 to drop to what? To drop to 53. Now this could happen maybe in 8 months or in 1 year, but depending on how long you can hold it. Okay. So let's get to now that we've understand that from the higher time frame, the market is calling for a what? It's calling for a sell for monthly. So let's go to weekly and be able to see what we have. So the entry was actually on this other block. The entry was on this other block. Okay, you can see the entry got in at that on other block. Now I didn't pick that entry on the other block. Okay, obviously because I didn't know when it got there. And if you check through, that is February 21. Okay, and after February 21, it dropped and it still retraced back up. Okay, good. Apart from me seeing that, I've also been able to see that there was a break of structure at this level. Okay, now with this break of structure, I have an understanding that 90% of the time the market will retrace back here. Now, another thing that approves my entry is that I want to make sure I can see a liquidity grab at this level. Okay, you guys can see that the market came into this place and retraced and broke it. So this has approved this top. So if I go to 8 hours or daily, okay, I will now be dealing with this move. Okay, I'll be dealing with this current we're dealing with this current move. So let's go deeper on this move. Now, obviously, there had been an upward move into this sell level. So you can see that we have higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and higher high. So on daily, this is the last higher low that we are dealing with. Okay. Now, this is the daily higher low we're dealing with. So this is the only place we're going to be taking buy if we have to trade against the monthly time frame move. Okay, good. Let's go from there to 8 hours, and from 8 hours you can also see that we also have a break of structure here around this place. So that also gives us a range around this lower part. Okay, good. So I have now higher low, higher high, higher low, then push up. Now watch this, guys. When the market bounced off at this level, this move did not break above. So that means that because this move did not break above this, 80 to 90%, this level will be what? Will be broken. And it could form a what? Liquidity. Because that is where the banks are interested in. You will see a lot of push down. Okay? So for me, obviously, I didn't enter the trade on 8 hours. Okay, I entered the trade on 4 hours. So went to 4 hours again. And since I've seen that movement, I've seen the market create what is called lower high, lower low, lower high. Now with this lower high gave us this lower low, and this low was what? Was destroyed. Okay, cool. it went up again and it dropped. So right now we have a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And in the rule of trading, you don't go in a trade if you have not, if you don't confirm your uptrend or your downtrend. And what I tell a lot of our students is that you want to make sure you have your direction first before you put in your money on any trade. So having this, it means that we are on a downward trend. Okay, so let me remove this. So we are dealing with this guy. Now, when the market was to retrace back up, he retraced back up into this other block. Okay, he traced back up into this other block and dropped. Now when it dropped, obviously, because I knew that we are under lower high, lower low, okay, the market came into this place. So I'm still expecting this guy to come below this low before I can take in my first take profit or my last take profit. So moving from there, I went to 2 hours. So on 2 hours, the same thing we've been looking out for, knowing fully well that monthly is calling sell, weekly is calling sell, daily is calling sell. All of them are calling sell. That gives me a level of guarantee that I should not buy. I should only look for sell. So if you look on the 2 hours, we also have lower high, lower low, lower high, and the market broke this structure. So with this break of structure right now, that means that this other block becomes powerful. Okay, and I've seen this liquidity grab. So the market went up, hit this liquidity off, and came into this other block. So I was able to enter this trade on a what? On a 4 pip stop loss. I think on 30 minutes or 15 minutes. So from 2 hours, I moved to 15 minutes. And on 15 minutes, I was able to move this trade, okay? And the market, you can see, it came into this other block. Now, some guys who are with some guys who really don't want to do 4 pips, you can still go ahead and do your what? Your 50% other move, okay? But I use this, okay? And because 4 pips was fine for me, so I went in on 4 pips, and the 4 pips is what is currently running on. So the market did what? The market came into this flow. When market came into this flow, the trade got triggered. And when it got triggered, that was a good place for us to sell. With my 4 pips low, if you also know what is called the Wyckoff theory, you also see that we have a preliminary support, we have a buy ceiling, we have a up thrust, okay? We have sign of weakness, and we have up thrust retard. And up thrust retard gave us another entry at this level. So if you go in on Wyckoff, this would be your entry. But if you go in the way I went in on 4 pips stop loss, which is amazingly good for me. Okay, which is amazingly good for me. Okay, around 4 pips stop loss. Okay, good. So if you're going on your Wyckoff, you're also good. So right there, the market moved down, and currently, I think I'm in 1 to 28 right now. Okay, 1 to 28. Okay, 1 to 27. That's currently what is running right now. Okay, now because I have an understanding that I'm on higher time frame and I'm moving with monthly, I can hold this trade to the next other flow, which is on the daily, and that will be taking me to 1 to 58. But guys, depending on your your patience, depending on my patience, I can choose to close this trade and watch out for more trade. Okay, now what has also helped is the fact that the COT report also says that AUD card is very low. Sorry, AUD is very low. So with AUD very low, CHF pumping up for more buys, it gave me the reason to buy more on this. So that to sell more rather, and I can hold on. Okay, so 2 days ago, today's 5th, okay, yes. So just today we also had another 30-minute entry using the same approach because the higher time frame has been confirmed. All I needed to do was still to obey my rule of engagement. I have a lower high or lower low, a lower high, and a lower low. Okay, so that approves, and I had a break of structure right here. Okay, break of structure, lower high, lower low, lower high, sorry, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so this also got my attention, and the market gave us this liquidity here. Okay, and that approves this level. Okay, so today this was a very good trade before the London session opened. And why is the London session? Is AUDCHF, and CHFs are more traded in the CHF is to be traded in the London session. Okay, so this was a good trade this morning, but I didn't add to the position. I didn't add to the position because I was already long on this, and I think I came late to my system this morning. So if I had picked this trade, I would have added another one to what? 1 to 19 risk reward. Okay. This is the analyst group for the trade. Okay. You can see the entry. I took this entry. Now it should be, I took it at 71.40. Okay. 71.40, and still from 71.40 is still dropping heavily. Okay, 71.40 around this place. Okay, 71.40. So I'm still holding this over and over again. So Mr. Maiwa, what are we waiting for? We're still waiting for more. But now, right now, I'm seeing a lower high, lower low, another lower high. So what do I do? I'll identify my break of structure again, and I'll look for my what? Liquidity. And once the liquidity is grabbed with my COT report, I'll look for another sell opportunity here if that will happen. And if it's not going to happen, that's fine for me. I'm still holding on this trade. So a lot of time, this is how a good case study works. Okay, this is I think 7 pips. So just add up to this position and we are good to go. So I just decided to share with you, okay, these rules of engagement. Okay, you need to understand, number one, you want to be able to understand market structure, understand the trend. Okay, understand the trend. The second thing you also want to do is fundamental with sentiment, sentiment. Sorry, sentiment. Okay, I use my COC report. Okay, COT report. Then I also want to make sure I have liquidity. Almost to make sure I have my order block. I also want to make sure I have break of structure. Okay, so with this, you can keep harnessing the market and you're good to go. Okay, so that will be all for now. I just don't want this video to be um, longer than this, and maybe if I choose to keep holding this trade for the next 3 months, I can do another video to update you guys when it gets to 1 to 80, sorry, 1 to 50 or 1 to 59. And this is possible, okay? Very, very possible for us, okay? I've closed a lot of partials. So even if this trade comes up to the extreme and come to hit me out, I've already made good profit from this trade. Okay, I've closed partials several. I'm still holding a huge sum of mine, about 40% of the transaction. I'm still holding on, and this is how you need to handle your transaction, especially when you are holding for a very long time and when you understand the place of an investor. Okay, so make sure you comment below what you want me to explain more. Is it the market structure, or you want more videos on Binance, on break of structure, or you want more videos on other blog? Let me know so that you guys can gain some value and get better. So I'll talk to you guys soon. And don't forget, if this is your first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel.